Alright, are we live? I'm double checking again just to make sure. I had to restart the live stream because for some reason it wasn't going through to YouTube. So hopefully it's going through now. Okay, it seems like it's going through now. We are currently live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my first live stream on YouTube. Everything is working fine, so I'm really happy. I really don't know what was going on. That normally doesn't ever happen, so hopefully that's the end of that happening. So how are you guys doing? I'm kind of starting a little bit late, but it's okay. We're still kind of on track. I hope you guys are doing well. It's really beautiful here in Virginia. Wherever you guys may be in the world, I hope you're experiencing great weather or you're just having a good day overall. For those who don't know me, my name is Sarah and I like to make art here on YouTube, and so this is probably going to be my first time officially introducing myself to my viewers. So it's really nice to meet you guys, and I do plan on covering tutorials through these live streams, and so I'm hoping when it comes to these live streams that I can do it at least once a month. For those who follow me on my Patreon page, you will have access to live streams every Tuesday. So if you would like to get access to more live streams, you can definitely check out my Patreon page. You can watch live streams for just $12 a month, and you can cancel that at any time if you're unable to fulfill that, or if just lifestyle changes. It's completely up to you, but that is available, so feel free to check that out. But for today, I am going to be working on my first live stream for YouTube, and after working out the kinks, I am really happy that it's working out well. So today I'm going to be drawing a mandala, and so I will be showing you how I normally draw them from start to finish. It's pretty easy for those who have been watching my videos since I first started YouTube, which was back in 2015. Then maybe you have developed an understanding of how I start my mandalas, and so if you're new watching my videos, then this will be kind of a fresher up. So I hope this tutorial is entertaining for you all. It could possibly be over 2 hours long, so feel free to get some refreshments, some snacks, some drinks, just get nice and comfortable, and you can just sit with me and draw this. So I feel like I'll give it a few more minutes for everyone to join. And so hello Roscoe, hello Kavya, thank you so much for joining the live stream. I hope you enjoy it and find it entertaining. And so we're going to be drawing a mandala together, so if you would like to draw something with me, or if you would like to try to draw this with me, you're more than welcome to. I always encourage you all to draw whenever you feel like it. So if this tutorial inspires you guys to draw a little bit more, then feel free to join me. So I'm trying to figure out, because I want to see the chat room. I want to see the chat room inside my recording software, but for some reason it is not letting me see the chat room. So I will do my best to kind of monitor the chat room, and I do apologize if I'm not going to be able to comment on the chat room, because unfortunately I'm just not able to see it right now, and it's not loading like I really want it to. So let me just really see. Let me see really quick. Let me check out to see what's going on. Okay. Hello, okay, I apologize. I'm going to try to say this right. Adhishri? Adhishri? I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to wait a few more minutes just to make sure that everyone kind of joins in, and then we're going to start officially. Meanwhile, I'm really trying to figure out why my chat is not really showing. So just give me a few moments, guys. You guys can continue getting comfortable with me. I'm just going to try to figure out why I can't see you guys, because I want to be able to see when you guys send me messages. So let's see really quick. I woke up today at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was such an early start for me. I've been trying to wake up more consistently and much more earlier than I normally wake up to try and get, things done. And so far it's working out, but I'm still kind of feeling like, oh, it would be nice to take a huge nap. That's kind of how I've been feeling these past few weeks because I've just been getting up so early. So, alright, no. Alrighty, give me a moment, guys. I do apologize. I really don't understand. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm so happy that I pronounced your name right. I'm always kind of self-conscious about pronouncing names that are from different countries, but it's nice to know that I pronounced it right. That makes me feel good. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to be able to really see the chat room in my recording software, so I'm going to minimize my recording. There we go. Okay. Alright, so okay, so we can officially get started. I figured out how I can see you guys so I can talk directly to you all. I hope you all are doing well, so let's get started and get going. So for the supplies that I'm going to be using for drawing today's mandala, it's pretty basic, I guess you could say, and for those who are going to be tuning in to these monthly live streams, I'll always try to give you all the supplies that I use for my mandalas, and it could be a bit repetitive, but I do try to let people know, for those who are just watching for the first time or someone who is just drawing these mandalas for the first time, I like to give everyone an overview of what I'm using to draw. So first and foremost, I have here a ruler, and it's pretty basic. You can get them anywhere, and this one was pretty affordable. It's pretty old, actually. I don't know how old it is, but you can kind of see it's yellow, just to kind of give you an idea of how old it is, and it also has timetables on it. Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. So it's kind of old, it has some age to it, but I'm just going to be using this to draw our guidelines, and I think that's pretty important if you want to draw really nice mandalas and you're able to draw, I guess, symmetrical petal designs. So having a ruler and having your guidelines really, really helps out. And so we're going to need a ruler. Basic, I have this mechanical pencil that I've been using for a very long time, I suppose. I did have another mechanical pencil that I was using maybe 3 years ago, but I don't know what happened to it, so I have this one, and I really like it because it has this metal coat to it, and it feels really nice in my hand, and it's nice and cool. And I really like this pencil because in my room it gets really hot because of my studio lights. So having this pencil and having this metal here just overall makes it a really nice drawing experience. And I always like to get a pencil that has like a little nib on the end, so as you can see it's kind of tall, and I really like this because it helps me see what I'm drawing, and that's pretty important because sometimes if I'm drawing a certain angle, and sometimes it's just really hard to see what I'm drawing, so having this little nib there can really make a huge difference. And so if you're based in America, you can get this on Amazon. It's a Zebra mechanical pencil, M.301, and it is in 0.5 lead. And it's really tiny too, because I have tiny hands because I'm a very petite person, so it's really good for my hands. As for an eraser, this is a pretty basic eraser, but I've heard that these erasers are really nice. It's a high polymer eraser, and I got this on Amazon for maybe, I think I got a set of 3 for about $4, so it's relatively affordable. So you'll need an eraser in case you make mistakes, which I still make mistakes. The pen that we're going to be outlining with is this Papermate Flare pen. It's in medium, and I have been using this pen for a really long time now because I really like the nib, and I'm not sure if you can see it. Maybe you can, but the nib, it's not really hard, and what I mean by that is that there are some nibs that they're so hard to where you have to hold them in a certain way to get a really nice line. But for this one, the nib is actually kind of soft, and you may not be able to tell right now, but it's really soft, and it helps me be able to draw in different angles. So for example, I can draw like this, or I can draw like this. It really doesn't matter, and I kind of like using this if I'm just drawing on the go. So having a flexible pen or marker on hand is really nice, and I got a box of these for like $5. Let me see if I can whip out the box that I have. Oh, my art cart is really messy right now. I have to organize it. But this is basically the box it came in. It comes with 12, and it comes in a variety of colors. I don't know if it shows you, but it comes in like a variety of different colors, and I have a few black here, which is actually really good because I need black. But you can also draw in different colors, and yeah, it's lasted me a long time, and I really like to use these for drawing. So with that, I also am using a thick marker because when we're drawing our mandala today, it's good to be able to shade in, and sometimes you need something really thick to just color more space and make it more faster. So I am using this big marker here. It's Prismacolor marker. Again, you don't have to use Prismacolor or any of these supplies if you don't have them. Whatever you have, I'm pretty sure you can make it work. And so any like even a Sharpie marker will do best. I've used it before, a Sharpie marker, and the only reason why I'm using this is because I ran out of my Sharpie marker. So this actually has two ends to it. This end is they call it, I think, a felt tip end. I could be mistaken. No, I think it's called the brush end to it. I should know this, honestly. I use this marker so many times. And so you can actually use this for writing, and it writes really nicely, and also the fact that it's much bigger, you can color bigger spaces, and so this is actually a really popular end to get when it comes to getting these markers. A lot of people like getting the markers with this end to it, I guess for maybe writing purposes. I'm not really sure, but the end that gotta make sure it's closed. The end that I'm gonna be using is this one, and so it's much harder, and it's really good for fine details, so we're mostly going to be using this end to it. So that will be the thick marker that we're going to be using. So in total, we're going to be using at least 2 different markers. So these are going to be the markers that we're going to be using for outlining and shading, and for decorating purposes, if there's time. Hopefully I can get to everything today. I would really love to, because I say that because sometimes my camera shuts off. It's really random. I tell you, the technology that I have available, it has a mind of its own. It likes to do things completely unexpectedly, so hopefully we can do everything. But I also have this white gel pen. You can use any white pen or marker even if you have one. I have this on hand, and so that's what I'll be using. And so it has a really fine nib or end to it. And I'll be using this just to kind of make the drawing stand out more. And on top of that, we have our paper here. It has a little grease stain. But this paper is Strathmore paper, and it is in tone. It's tone mixed media paper. And again, guys, I'll put everything in the description of this video, so in case you would like to check out any of these supplies, you're more than welcome to just by clicking in the description. But that will be when this video is already uploaded, so I'll definitely work on that in case you guys are interested in it. But this is Strathmore paper, and it's tone, and it's, as you can see, it's really heavyweight. It doesn't really bend easily, and so I like getting heavy paper like this because of the markers that I use. Like this one, it can easily bleed through thin paper, so it's good to have thick paper on hand. This is Strathmore mixed tone media paper. And so last but not least, I also have my compass. This is pretty affordable. I got it on Amazon for about $4 right now, and so I think it kind of bumped up in price. I'm not really sure, but I really like this because I can hold a pen and a pencil in it, and that's really handy because you'll be able to draw either your circles in pencil or your circles in pen. And I'm not yet good or experienced enough to draw my circles by hand alone, so having a nice compass that can hold both a pencil and a pen is really handy. It really makes it a lot easier. So as you can see here, you can just, turn this and it will change what you can put in there. So you can take the pencil out, and this is a standard size pen, and you can just pop it in there like so, and then just make sure it's tightly in there, and there you go. And the brand of this compass is Staedtler. I've been using Staedtler products for a really long time, and I really enjoy them. I find that even though this compass feels a bit cheap, it still does exactly what I need it to do. So I really like it. So having that kind of compass on hand can really make a difference. And I think that covers everything for the most part, so let's get started. It is 12:21. Let's get started into this mandala, shall we? So, first things first, we're going to draw our guidelines. And so, I'm going to use my ruler. And the first thing that I normally try to do is I try to find the center of the page, and the way that I normally do that is by making an X on the page. And I hope you guys can see everything well. But I like to make an X on the page, and because my ruler's not long enough, I use my pencil on the end, like this. I just make sure everything is lined up, and then we will go from there. The artboard that I'm currently drawing on, I told myself, okay, so if you get this artboard, you're going to take care of it, you're not going to get anything on it, it's going to be nice and clean. And literally the first week of me drawing on it, I got this huge black stain on it. Let me see if I can show you guys. I was so disappointed. Ugh. So I can't even wash it off, but it is what it is. Every single time I draw on this board, I always think of that moment where I told myself, okay, you're going to keep it clean. And that same week, a huge black spot fell onto it. I was painting a mandala, and sure enough, it didn't really work out. But that's what it's for. You're not making art if you're not making a mess. I think that's how it goes. Alright, so I'm just going to continue drawing my guidelines, gonna find the X, and it's pretty fast, unless you don't have a long enough ruler like I don't. As you can see, this will be our center of the page. Alright, and then from there I'm going to draw a cross. And this part will be fairly easy now that we have the center of our page. So I guess you guys could say, I could say that this, if this live stream goes well and you guys enjoy it, I'll keep doing the live streams every month. So hopefully you guys will find these tutorials helpful. I have received in the past requests to do more in-time videos, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I definitely want to listen to you all and see what you guys want more of. it's also a great way for me to just, try new things as an artist. So if you guys have any ideas on what you would like to see, feel free to let me know. Alright, so this is what I used to do when it comes to like the guidelines. I would just draw this many, but now I try to draw the more sophisticated way of drawing guidelines, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So with my compass, I'm going to draw my first circle, and it's pretty random. I'll zoom in. It's pretty random, the size. I don't know the size, but I will give you guys the circle sizes once the whole mandala is finished. I feel like it's a bit easier to give you guys the sizes when it's the final product. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my first circle about this wide. Like so. And then I'm going to draw some dots on the lines, and I'm going to space them apart evenly. I'll zoom in some more so you can see it. There we go. And so when I'm drawing the dots, I'm going to make sure they're spaced evenly apart. So in this space, I can probably fit maybe 3 dots. And the reason why I'm doing these dots is because we're going to use those dots to draw more guidelines. And you'll see what I mean when I say that, because we're still going to draw some more guidelines. In this space, I'll fit 2. The same with this space. And then because we fit 3 dots on this side, we're also going to do the same thing on this side. Like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom as well. It probably would be easier to turn it around like this. And you guys can also see it better too, so. I remember the first time I started live streaming, it was actually through Twitch. And when I first started live stream, I was so nervous because I was thinking to myself, well, I get really absorbed in my art. Sometimes I don't talk so much. So I was really nervous that I guess it would come off the wrong way of me just being silent. But it actually turned out to be really, really nice. The only reason why I stopped live streaming on Twitch is because it deletes the videos after 14 days, and I didn't like that. So I decided, and also I can't make some of the videos private if I wanted to make the videos for my Patreon page, which is also what I wanted to do, and I couldn't do that unless I had, I forgot how many followers, but I think it was like 50 or 100. So I just decided that I was going to do YouTube instead, and it's a lot different than Twitch, that's for sure. Aw, Roscoe, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that compliment. That really makes me happy. I still need a lot of practice as an artist, but you never stop learning, that's for sure. Your whole life you're going to continue learning, so you can never know too much of one thing, no matter how good you may think you are. But I do appreciate that compliment. Thank you so much, Roscoe. Roscoe? I said Roscoe, but I don't think that's how you pronounce it. Roscoe. That's pretty tricky to say. Interesting username. I thought of Roscoe because I think there's a 90s cartoon and the main character's name is Roscoe. So I immediately, when I saw your name, I thought, oh, Roscoe. But no, it's Roxo. Very interesting name. Alright, so we have our dots. Now we're going to continue drawing our guidelines. And so I like to start, so basically when you draw your guidelines, you're going to use the other side and the other side diagonal to it. You're going to draw the lines. So we're going to start on this point, and we're going to connect to this point, if that makes sense to you guys. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll use, Roxo. Okay, it's much better for me to read it that way. I had a brain fart trying to read your name. Alright, so I've connected from this dot, and I went over here to connect to this one, and I'm just going to draw a line as far out as you want to go, and there you go. Make sure you connect to the center line too. It's very important for the center line. And then we're just going to keep turning our ruler clockwise, so this way. So we're just going to keep turning our ruler until we meet all the dots and have all our guidelines. Something's telling me that we're gonna get a lot of rain today because it's really cool outside. I don't know what's the month. It's August 18th. Yeah, it's really cool outside. It's really beautiful too. So normally when it's cool like that, I always think to myself, oh man, maybe we're gonna get some intense weather. When we had on the East Coast, when we had that tropical storm, I forgot the name of it, but I remember that day it was really cool outside, and sure enough we got a lot of rain that day. So maybe it's just a nice day, I don't know, it could be. I'm actually kind of looking forward to cooler weather. It's been really hot here lately. At some point I would like to get more cameras because I would love to shoot at different angles so that you guys can see this side of what I'm drawing or see from this angle. In time I'm going to definitely do that. I've always wanted to do that and just get more angles for you guys because there are definitely there's some parts of where I'm drawing and my arm will be in the way or something like a ruler will be in the way, so in time I'm definitely going to invest in that. Hello, Janani. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for your lovely compliment. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. It really makes me happy to see you guys enjoying the live stream so far. I didn't know if anyone would tune in, to be honest. I just said, oh, you know, let's do a live stream today. It was really spontaneous. So thank you so much for joining, Johnny. Okay, I think I said that right. I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting better. Don't worry. I will perfect the pronunciation. I do agree. Mandalas, I don't know. There's something about mandalas. I just don't know what it is, but that's like the first thing that I started drawing, and I actually stopped making art for such a long time, guys. I wasn't making art for quite some years, and I remember drawing a lot of art, you know, doing a lot of art when I was little. When I was in high school, I would also do a lot of art, and so I just, as I got involved with life and I was going through a lot of things, a lot of, you know, stressful things, that I just stopped doing art. And at some point in my life, I was going through a phase where I was kind of depressed and I was really sad, and mandalas for some reason popped up on my Instagram page, and I was like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. And so one day I decided to draw it, and I don't know if you guys have seen my very first videos, but my mandalas weren't the best, but I was having a ball, you know, drawing them, and it was super fun, and I've just been sticking with them ever since, and to this day I still love them. They're just so fun and relaxing, and yeah, I'm really happy that you guys like them too. Okay, so this is basically what I call sophisticated guidelines. If you really want to draw, you know, unique designs that are even, and you don't have to really worry so much about whether or not, you know, you're drawing enough on a certain line. Drawing, you know, guidelines like this can really make a difference, and it can really help speed up your drawings as well. So I learned this the hard way. For so long I was just doing the simple guidelines where I was only finding the X or the center of the page, and then I would just do the cross, and that was it. That's all I would draw. And so I was wondering why it was taking me so long to draw, And finally, I just discovered, okay, well, maybe if I just draw more guidelines, it'll be easier. And sure enough, it is. So once you have the guidelines like so, I'm then going to just go about drawing my circles. So I'm gonna try to draw the smallest circle that I can with this compass, and we'll go from there. Normally I like to draw about 10 or 12, depending on the design, but that's mostly how many guidelines or circles I draw. So let's see, and I also try to space them evenly apart too. Although sometimes that doesn't work out, guys. So that's the cool thing about art, is that you may have plans and you may want to do things a certain way, but things are always changing, and as an artist, you just kind of learn to be okay with that. And I think not only is that pretty cool, because at the end of the day, being spontaneous is nice, but it's also, it applies to life too. It kind of helps you just go with the flow of things. Ooh, dot mandalas. Do you mean dot paintings? When you talk about mandalas? I used to draw a lot of my mandalas with Sharpie markers, but I stopped doing that. And even though it was super fun because of all the colors, I just couldn't take the smell of it. So I don't know. I know everyone has different ways of drawing their mandalas, though. Does everyone here draw mandalas for the most part? Because I feel like, dot paintings, okay. Yes, dot paintings, so I don't know if you guys have heard, but there is such a thing as round canvases, and I had no idea that there was such a thing. And so, my boyfriend, he surprised me one day, and he got me round canvases, circle canvases to paint on. And I was so confused because I had no idea such a thing existed. And so it's a lot easier to paint on than a square canvas, that is. But even a square canvas is nice because you can do a lot more with it probably. But I thought it was pretty cool. Dot paintings is one of those things, I think, where it does require a lot more patience, I think. I know when I first started out, I did not have the best dots at all. It was all over the place. Even to this day, if I don't do dot paintings very often, my hands are shaking like this, and it's just, I'm nervous, and I have to scrap it or cover up my dots, and it's, you guys see an edited version of my videos, but behind the scenes, I'm making a mess, I'm starting over, I'm cursing at myself, because it's so easy, it should be easy to do, but I'm making a mess, so it takes practice. So, alright, so let me see how many lines I have so far. I said I was going to do 10 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, perfect. Okay, perfect. Alright, let me zoom out a bit. Okie dokie. So, we can now start drawing. The most exciting part. Actually, no, that's a lie. The most exciting part is outlining. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Do you guys like drawing it, or do you prefer outlining it or coloring it? Because for me, I like outlining. The coloring part is kind of drags on for me, but I really like outlining for some weird reason. I don't know. Alright, so let me try to find, I'll find the horizontal line, and I'm going to leave my center circle blank. I'm not going to draw anything in there. For some reason, I have just gotten used to not doing that. I really like the look of like an open space in the center, so we're going to skip the center, and we're going to go on to this first line here, and I'm going to go ahead and draw some round petals. And we're going to draw the round petals in the spaces that we have. So these little squares here, we're going to draw our round petals in those. Yes, I know. It really is all about practicing, and I actually, I was talking to another YouTuber, well, she she more uploads on Instagram, but she was thinking about doing a YouTube channel, and she was saying she got so frustrated with the dot paintings that she ended up throwing the canvas across the room, and I just like laughed at that, and imagining her doing that. um, but yeah, it does take a lot of practice, but it's totally worth it if you can just dedicate some time to it. It really is worth it. So just try not to ruin the canvases. Like, so yes, anything, honestly, anything that you want to improve on, it just requires practice. That's about it. So, and yes, the outlining, I definitely agree, it does bring it to life. That's probably why I really like it. Like all this hard work into doing the guidelines and then drawing the petals, and then finally it's starting to come to life with the color. That's probably the best explanation that I've been able to come up with. Like, I never understood why I like the outlining part, but you're so right, it does come to life. So I'm just going to keep drawing these petals around the whole circle, and then we're going to move on. So I also like to rotate the paper. I think it gives me a better angle and it helps me see what I'm drawing better. There have been times where I don't rotate the paper and my petals end up being crooked, and I'll overlook it because sometimes I'm just in a rush to draw. It happens, and then when I'm outlining everything, I'll notice, oh god, that doesn't look like a good petal at all. So fortunately, I can just draw over it with the pen, but turning the paper really is a good habit to get into, guys. If you're serious about being an artist, sometimes just turning the paper every now and then can really make a huge difference. Alright, we officially have completed our first, I guess you could say our first row. So we're going to keep going on. It's kind of light, I do apologize. I have a habit of drawing really heavily with my pencil, and it's hard to erase. So I've been trying to draw a bit lighter, but then I realized, oh, it's not all that easy to see on camera though. So I'm trying to like balance the two out. Okay, so next thing I want to draw, I love doing this. I probably like doing it too much, and it's probably not good, but I love to draw like little circles in these dips here. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. I think once this mandala gets bigger, I'm going to switch to my pen and start drawing with the pen instead. I like to start out with the pencil because sometimes I'm unsure about how exactly I want to start out, so I do the pencil first, and we'll just see how it goes from there. Is everyone here from the United States? I'm always curious to see like where my audience is from. I can check on my YouTube analytics, and it says for the most part, majority of my audience is from India, which is super cool. I've never been to India. Like, that's always been a place that I would love to visit. I really like the culture, and almost everyone that I've had interactions with, on here, but also in school, I had a lot of Indian friends. I had a variety of different people who are just from like all over the world, and so it became really easy for me to have interest in other cultures and other countries. So it's always cool for me to find out like where my audience is from. Of course, it's like always, I love everyone regardless of where you're from, but it's always cool to see where I can connect with. Okay, so I put some circles in those dips there, and we can now move on to our other designs. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and draw some triangle petals, and I'm going to draw it right above these little circles. So because we have these guidelines now, it's going to be super easy for us to draw petals from now on, because we'll have an even amount of spaces to work with. If you didn't have these guidelines, it would probably require a lot of guesswork on your end. So I learned that the hard way. So having these guidelines here, these boxes, really helps drawing. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some triangle petals in this space, and I'll draw this around the whole mandala. And I'm kind of curving the outside of this petal, so it's not exactly a triangle, and the tip is not really pointy. It kind of has like a little roundness to it, but you guys can draw however you want to. Deborah Exum, thank you so much for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy you came across my live stream and that you're joining me. I hope you can enjoy this during your lunch hour. And honestly, I'm really happy that this live stream was a success, because, well, when I first started the live stream, I don't know what was going on, but something weird was happening with the technology. I don't know what was going on, but everything is working out now. So thank you so much for joining, Deborah. I'm so happy to have you here. Hopefully you can enjoy this wonderful afternoon or morning, wherever you may be in the United States. And yeah, the more the merrier. Alright, see, it's looking pretty good actually. I tell you, these squares really make it so much easier to draw. I can't believe I went for how long without drawing these guidelines. I follow a few artists on Instagram, and I see a lot of their mandalas, and I'm always thinking to myself, oh my goodness, their designs are so beautiful, they're so even, everything is so symmetrical. And then I look at my mandalas, and I'm like, you know, what am I doing wrong? Like, maybe I'm not adding enough details to it. And so one of the artists that I follow, she uploaded a video of the guidelines that she uses, and then it hit me, oh my goodness, I don't do that. So now I've been doing that, and sure enough, it makes a big difference. After maybe 4 years of uploading onto YouTube, I'm still learning new things, and it constantly keeps drawing mandalas interesting. Michael Bosher, I believe. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Says, I just discovered mandalas and love the creative process. Picked up some supplies and can't wait to make my first one. Thank you for doing this. Oh, you're absolutely welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for joining in, honestly. And I'm so happy that, you know, you're making time for being creative. That's ultimately the reason why I started this channel, was to inspire people to be more creative and just to tune into that creative side, because I feel like with life going on and with our obligations and our responsibilities, at the end of the day, I feel like anything creative can really just wind you down, help you relax, just get your mind to focus on one thing and just to lose yourself. And so anything that can help you be creative, absolutely 100% go for it. And I'm so happy that you all are on the same page, and it makes me feel happy, because that's ultimately what I really want from you guys. I would love for you all just to be creative, do whatever your heart wants, just be creative. So you're absolutely welcome. I love doing this for you guys, so it really makes me happy to see that you all are happy too. Okay, we finished. Oop, that's kind of light. Okay, so we finished our second row, and so now we can move on to our third row. I think at this point, hold on, I think I'm going to use my tiny eraser, and I'm going to get rid of this line because it's kind of messing me up. So yes guys, if you follow me on my Instagram page and you scroll all the way to the end of my Instagram feed, you will be able to see what my mandalas used to look like, guys. It's sometimes, like, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually really cringy for me to look at my first mandalas because it kind of looks like preschool drawings. But you know what, I kept it because it's really cool to see like what I'm capable of drawing now. So it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how much time goes by, it's just as long as you try, you know? Hello, Subha, thank you so much for joining. You're so very welcome here. I hope you're still able to enjoy it. We've kind of somewhat started, but you're still more than welcome to sit in. We have a lot more to do, so get comfortable, relax, and I hope you can have some fun with us. So we just finished our second row, now let's draw our third row. But first, guys, I think I'm gonna just draw everything else with my pen. My little Papermate Flare pen. Ooh, the end of it is actually kind of dull. I probably should get a new one soon. Alright, so let's go and fill these designs in. I can definitely say though that like doing art, it's very therapeutic for me, and I guess that's probably why I like to encourage everyone around me to do something creative. It's just so soothing, and when I think back on all the times where I was just going through stressful times and I really wasn't sure like where my life was going, the one thing I can say that just helped me get through it all was just doing something creative. And whether it was just doodling something, it didn't have to make any sense, or if it was just trying to learn something new, whatever it may be, the one thing that has always helped me get out of like those ruts and overall those depressing feelings, because it does happen, being creative is just always something that I can lean on. So if I can help people be more creative and also tune into those wonderful feelings of just being able to create something and feel like a kid again, if I can help people experience that, then, and I'm also doing something that I really love to do too, then why not? And so seeing how far my YouTube channel has come after 4 years and being able to interact with a variety of different kinds of people, everyone is super nice. And encouraging and supportive, and I have so much to be thankful for when it comes to my audience here. You guys have helped encourage me to keep making art, and so I'm very much thankful for you all. So thank you so much again for being here. Would you all like to see more Mandala tutorials? I think I've done a poll on YouTube before. I think majority said Mandalas, to be honest. But I always like to ask pretty regularly, just so I can make sure that I'm uploading content that you all would enjoy watching. So I'm always taking suggestions. Sometimes I like to do different things on my YouTube channel because I'm just trying to experiment, but ultimately, if you all have suggestions for me that you would like to see, I'm always willing to learn new things, that's for sure. I actually got, so for this Friday's video, I'm going to be demonstrating a new product that I was sent. A company reached out to me and they want me to test out one of their products, so I'm super excited to share with you all that as well. So that'll be exciting, and that will be this Friday. So it's something new, and I thought about considering buying it, but it never really occurred to me, so it was pretty cool for this company to reach out to me and ask me to test it out. So that'll be something new. Okay, so we've outlined the design for the most part. Now let's keep going. I am going to draw a teardrop right in the center like this, or in the dips. Alright, we have that down. Now, I'm going to draw some humps that connect from the tips of these little teardrops, like this. And I'm going to use the guideline right above it, so the guideline where we drew our dots, I'm going to use that as a guideline to help me draw these humps. Like this. I find that it's easier for me to go from the right side down, so I guess clockwise. I think if you were left-handed, maybe it would be the going counterclockwise, but I could be wrong. There's definitely different angles that help me draw better. I've noticed that over the years of me drawing more regularly, there are certain angles that I can just draw so much better. Turn the page. Alright, it's looking pretty interesting so far. Alright, so now I want to draw some pointy petals. So because we have these little squares to work with, I'm going to continue using those. And we're going to, because everything is basically lined up evenly, we can just use these guidelines. So I'm going to draw on this horizontal line and complete it like this. I really hope I give good directions. I've been told before that I explain things well, but sometimes when I listen to myself, I feel like I could explain it much better. So I really hope I do a good job, teaching you guys or explaining the steps. depending on how you learn. For me, I'm a visual learner, so I learn by watching things and observing things. Some people are more auditorial, where they can just basically listen to it. For me, though, I prefer observing. Advanced birthday wishes. Oh my goodness. Wow, thank you so much. Wow, I had no idea. Is my birthday on YouTube? That's so interesting. Wow, that makes me really happy. Thank you so much. My birthday will be this Saturday. I'll be turning 27. It's a very weird number to say out loud, but thank you so much, Johnny. I really appreciate it. All the love from India. Thank you so much. So much love from the United States, from me to you. It's very awesome. So I don't really have any plans for my birthday. I probably will be going to my sister's house. I'm gonna be baking a cake, and my sister, when I told her that I was baking a cake, she said, "What? Why are you baking your own cake? Someone's supposed to get you a cake." But I really want to improve my baking skills, so I just said, why not? I'll bake a cake. So I'm gonna be making a strawberry cream cake, and hopefully it comes out well. I'm not gonna lie, I did make the cake last week just to see if it would come out right, and it did. It had its little moments, but yeah, I don't really know what to really do for my birthday. My boyfriend said he has something planned, but he won't tell me, of course, so we'll see what happens. I try not to get caught up on age, though, you know. I think age is like that one thing where everyone cringes, like, oh my goodness, I'm 20 something, oh my goodness, I'm 40 something. So honestly, I don't really care too much about age, but the fact that you guys remember my birthday is really heartwarming. Thank you so much. That makes me a Leo. Oof. I'm a Leo. What is it? Leo sun, Leo rising. If you're into astrology, that makes me a double Leo, I guess. Aish says, "Hi, your paintings are awesome." Thank you so much. Oh, that makes me happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, I have, my boyfriend gave me a bunch of canvases to paint on, so I'm definitely going to use some of those for my YouTube videos, because you guys enjoy the Mandala tutorials, but you also really enjoy the dot paintings. So at some point I'm definitely going to continue with that. I also got new paint, so I'm really excited to use those as well. So for my viewers who are in India, would you say art supplies is pretty easy to get there? Is everyone into art there? Because I have noticed the people that I follow on Instagram who are based in India, they're very artistic, they're super creative, and so I'm always wondering, is art supplies easy to get over there? I went to Italy and I came across an art store there, and everything was super expensive, and I don't think I got anything, to be honest. I think I wanted to get something, but I didn't. So Rithima says, I'm sorry, I'm really doing my best to pronounce it, guys. Rithima says, "Hi, all, my name is Rithima and I am from India." Okay, so we have a lot of people here from India. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. My name is Aishwarya. Aishwarya? Am I pronouncing that right? Aishwarya? Aishwarya. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm really doing my best. I probably sound so funny trying to pronounce. But thank you guys for joining me from India. That's so cool. Two different countries connecting. That's awesome. Okay, so we finished 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think that we're on our 4th row. Okay, so I got your name right. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. I'm making progress, guys. Okay, so I really like to draw borders, so we're gonna go ahead and draw some borders on this mandala, and we're going to just outline the shape or the outside of the mandala like this. So for my viewers in India, when would you say the best time to visit would be? I do know some countries, they have good seasons to go, but India is definitely a place where I would love to visit. Maybe I can do a meet and greet, you know, if it's possible, and we can all make art together. But I do want to go to India. That's on my places to go to. Looking nice. I'll move the camera a bit. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Alright, so what can we move on to now? I'm actually going to add a little hump right in these dips here, like this. I think we've hit our 1 hour mark. Let me see really quick. Ah, yes, we have officially reached 1 hour in. Woohoo! I don't know why, but I like to keep track of like the hours that pass. And it never occurred to me that I would like ever one day live stream, because you know, for the most part, like, I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of shy, so I never really considered doing live streams, didn't think about it, because honestly I figured it was really complicated, but you know, it's actually not so bad. So we are officially 1 hour in. We're making great progress. All right, so once we have those humps in, I'm then going to draw, I think when it comes to these like little humps here, I really like to draw petals on top of it. So let's go ahead and do that. We can do about 3. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Roxo. I really appreciate the feedback. I love how you guys are so supportive, honestly. Some people say the internet can be a scary place, and I guess it depends on where you go on the internet, to be honest. But you guys, for the most part, my audience you guys have always been supportive and super, super nice. So I'm really fortunate to be able to connect with people like you all. Like, it's really amazing, honestly. Alright, looking good. Hello, YTV. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're enjoying and having a good time with me. Hope it's entertaining for you. We're just drawing this mandala here. We're about, well, I wouldn't say halfway. We probably have some more to do, but we're making some progress. So thank you so much for joining. Okay, so we finished this design. Now, let me see what else I could draw. I'm actually going to close this in. So I'm going to use my compass, zoom out a little bit, so you guys can see. I think I have to loosen up these screws. It's kind of tight. I've been wanting to do that, but I never get around to doing it. So today I'm gonna loosen up these screws so I can move it a bit better. And it also has like these numbers. Centimeters. Oh my goodness. You see, guys, I learn new things every day. Okay, so I'm gonna close this in with a circle. And I'm going to draw right on the guideline closest. Okay, there we go. Make sure the compass is in the paper, otherwise it's going to move on you and you don't want that to happen. So make sure you got a good grip on it. I've had that happen to me before where I didn't have the compass in the paper all the way and it slid on me like this, and this huge black line was just, I couldn't unfortunately finish that mandala, but I learned from that point on to just make sure I have a really good grip on the compass. Alright, so now I'm going to try my best to do this tiny, tiny, tiny circle. This is the part that always makes me nervous because the tinier I go, the harder it is to make the circle. So cross your fingers, let's see if it goes well. Okay, ooh. So much tension. Like you guys really have no idea like what goes on behind these videos. You guys just see an edited version of it, but like it's definitely different for me. Okay. Okay, that's good. I did it. I'm actually gonna add another line right here, like a little tiny thin one. Maybe not that thin. I call it the border, so I'll go ahead and add a border on it. I sometimes have to go over the line again just to make sure that it's thicker. There we go. Looking good. Okie dokie. Let's keep going. Alright, so let's see what kind of lines we have. I'm actually, okay, hold on. I need the compass again. I need to draw another line really quickly. And I'm gonna draw a line right in this little space. I feel like it's too big, so I need a line just to help me draw a bit more. Okay, now we can keep going. So in this space that we have here, it's a good sign that maybe we can go bigger in our designs. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that, and I'm going to go up to this line that we just drew. That'll be the center point where I will connect our petals. Oof, gotta readjust. Okie doke. So, like this. There we go. And I'm going to do this all around the mandala. Also, guys, I don't know how the music is. I did check it beforehand and it seemed like it was okay, but sometimes when I'm in the process of like editing the live stream, I hear that it's too loud. So hopefully it's not too loud, because sometimes that happens. Alright, looking good. We gotta zoom out now. There we go. Alright, so I'm just gonna do the outline for now, and then once we have the whole mandala drawn, I'm gonna go back over with some details using this pen still, and then from there we're gonna move on to the shading in, and so we'll get there at some point. Now I'm gonna continue with the drawing. Let's see. I am actually going to take this up a notch, and I'm going to draw to this line. So right here, so there are going to be some tall petals, and I'm going to draw it from the tips of these petals here. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's kind of round. It's not exactly really pointy. That's exactly what I want. So we're going to do this all around. So I don't know if you guys are into video games. I don't know if we have any video gamers here, as long as some artists, but I recently got a video game that I 100% love. I used to play it all the time, and it's actually quite popular. It's Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. Maybe not. But there was a sale for the game, and I decided that I would buy it. And I kid you not, guys, I literally stayed up all night playing this game. So that's kind of like why I'm a little bit tired today, because not only was I up playing this game, and I was having such a ball, you know, jumping from one building to another and riding my horsey, and it was just the best thing ever. But I'm tired because I also wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm trying to be more productive. So I'm running on a fruit smoothie right now and a salad. So we'll see how far I can go throughout the whole day without having to take a nap. I normally don't like taking naps because I don't really wake up from them unless it's like I'm getting physically woken up from it. So if I take a nap, I'm most likely sleeping the rest of the day. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I stayed up all night playing this game and it was so fun. When I am not making art, I am either outside, going for walks, or I'm playing video games. Plain and simple. That is basically my life. Video games and art. I think my dad is to blame for getting me hooked on video games. He really loves video games. And so I remember when I used to, when I used to go to his house, because my mom and him weren't living together, she would always say, now don't let them play too many video games, they need to go outside and do regular things that kids do, and of course, as soon as my mom left, my dad whipped out the Nintendo 64, and my sister and I played Mario, and we played Donkey Kong, and that's where my love for games came about. And to this day, my dad still plays video games too, so it runs strong in my family. I think if I wasn't into art so much, I would totally be a video gamer. right, it looks good. Okay, the bigger we go, the more we have to zoom out. And it is currently 123, 123, that's a good number. All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to draw some humps right beneath the tip like so, and I'm going to draw a thinner line right on top. Hello Dipti, thank you so much for joining. You're welcome here. I hope you can enjoy and I hope you have a good time. So sit back and relax. We still have some ways to go before we finish this mandala. Get comfy, get some good snacks, and just relax. Take your mind off of life for a little bit. The community that we have here is very, very supportive, so all newcomers are all welcome. Thank you so much, thank you so much. It's definitely progress, so just gonna keep practicing and making sure this looks good. All right, looking good. And now, just to kind of free up some time, I'm going to draw two little, well, not little, but two lines on each side in this dip. And I'm curving into the dip below it, like so. I actually have to go to the art store. Hopefully today I can go to the art store and pick up some more white paper. I like to use, so this is tone paper. It's not the paper that I normally use, but I do like to use, I like to use it because it has a toned background, of course, and the gel pens that I have look really nice on the tone paper. Also, when you have, I mean, it can look nice with anything just about, but for the most part, when it comes to mandalas, I really like to draw on the white paper because sometimes I'll add colors to it and the markers just look amazing on the paper. And so for the white paper that I normally use for my videos, I use bristle paper. I was trying to think of the word because I use two different kinds of paper. It's either bristle paper or it's this other kind of printer paper. It's for printing and it's very thick, but it's great for drawing. Even for, you know, I discovered that it was great for drawings through my color pencils. I was coloring something on this paper and I noticed that the colors were just super vibrant. And so I just decided, okay, well, I guess this is really good paper. And since I wasn't really using the paper for anything else at the time, because originally I was using it for my art show, and so I didn't need any more of it, I just decided, well, I don't want it to go to waste, so let's just use it for drawing paper. And it turns out it's really good drawing paper. So if I can find the link to that for that paper, I will definitely send it to you guys, because that's really good to have too. Okay, let me fix the camera. I'm constantly changing the camera angle for some reason. Okay, so let's keep going. So I like to try to balance out the different designs. So as you can see, in the beginning we started with these round petals here, then we moved to the pointy petals, or the triangle petals, then pointy, then triangle. So I think now it's time to go back to the round petals just to kind of even things out. Oh, and then we also have these little petals here. So I like to balance everything out just so that everything looks unified, and for that I'm going to have to cheat a bit, and I'm going to use my pencil. It's not really cheating, but I have been trying to use my pencil less so I can get used to drawing with my hands more and relying less on the whole drawing or sketching first and then outlining. So sometimes I can do it and sometimes I can't. Okay, I'm gonna have to zoom out now. We're getting big, guys. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go up to this line right here. And these are gonna be thick round petals. They're thick. Like so. My fairy lights are dangling around. Sometimes the fairy lights get in the way, but they look so pretty on camera that I just can't help but have them included. So I can tolerate them for a few hours. I also have some fairy lights that are colorful, but I have them on my wall right now, so I can't really take them down. Whatever makes the drawing experience pleasant, you might as well just go for it. Fairy lights happen to be one of those things that make me feel like I'm in a little fantasy world. Alright, so there we go. We can now use the pen. Actually, before I use the pen, if you want to add layers to your mandalas, it's important to establish that before you actually outline, and that's probably why I do outline with my pencil first, because I never know what layers I want to incorporate onto the mandala, so that's probably a good idea to just be mindful of. If you want to build layers and give the impression that your mandalas are multi-dimensional, as they call it, it's good to just be mindful of the layers that you want to put in place. So I'll show you what I mean. So on the tips of these petals, I'm going to draw a circle. And then once I have drawn the circle, then I'm going to draw the petals that we just drew, and that kind of builds layers. And I think as you become more experienced drawing, your mandalas or just drawing in general, you become more adapt to, you become more aware of those layers. So in time, it just takes a little bit of practice. Okay, then from there, we are going to draw the petals. Oof, that's a thick petal. Ooh, hello Sarah, we have the same name. Hello. Welcome to my first live stream for my YouTube channel. I hope you find it enjoyable. Feel free to get comfortable. We still have some ways to go before we finish this, but you're welcome here, and I'm so happy you can join. Hello Priya, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining and for commenting. I hope you're doing well. I hope all of you guys are doing well. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I remember I looked in the dictionary not too long ago, and I was curious about what my name meant, and it means princess. Well, first it gave at first it said that it was the wife of Abraham in the Bible, but then there was also another meaning of it, and it meant princess. So that was pretty cool to find out. I think for a long time I actually wanted to change my name, and so I thought it would be cool to have a nickname. You know, I used to admire people who had nicknames in school, and so I was like, okay, well maybe I'll change my name to Marie, because that's my middle name. Marie is my middle name, but I never did, and I really like my name. And thank you so much. I'm really happy you like my name too. Of course. I figured out a way where I can see the chat room, and I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to be able to interact with them? But fortunately, I figured out a way to do it. So I'm looking at the chat room as I'm drawing. So if I see a new person commenting, I'll be sure to shout out and respond to you guys. Okay, so this is getting pretty big. Gotta zoom out a wee bit more. Get our fairy lights into the video because it makes everything feel nice and cozy. Okay, so now that we have drawn our round petals, I want to go ahead, and we haven't did a border in a while, so I'm gonna draw a border, but first I'm gonna use my pencil because I'm gonna do some layers. I'm going to draw a border right around these petals, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. Okay, you can kind of see it. I'm sorry I'm so zoomed out. I just want you all to be able to see everything that I'm doing. And hopefully you're able to. Actually, I'll zoom in more for you guys. There we go. So I'm actually going to layer. Oh, my pencil's running out. . go. And so I call this a border. I'm not really sure if, well, that's what I call it. Honestly, I have like my own ways of describing things. I don't really know if I'm describing it right. So I do apologize if sometimes I don't really say things as well as it should be said, or if it doesn't make any sense. It's definitely something I'm learning as I go. Sometimes my English, even though I'm American, sometimes my English sounds a bit weird. Like my sentences, I don't know what happens, but something happens and I don't know, my English gets lost sometimes. BB, you're doing really great for your first live stream. Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, I'm so happy this live stream was a success, because I was really worried, honestly, because at first it didn't start, and I was really confused because that hasn't happened before. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, am I not going to be able to live stream? Oh my goodness, like it'd be so nice to. And so I kept working with it, and finally it worked out. So it was meant to be. So thank you so much for all the support and for all the love and for joining on this first live stream for this channel. So there's going to be more to come. I'm going to be live streaming every month for this channel, so I'll definitely try to, I guess, advertise it or promote it for you all, so that you can all, and also give you guys time to know when I'm going to be live streaming, so we can all join in together and have a good time. So in time, I'm going to get really creative with the live streams, and we're going to be doing a lot of cool things. I have a lot of canvases, so next time, if you guys want, I can do a dot painting. So we shall see. See, that's my English acting up. So if you would like to see the dot paintings, you can comment on my community page on YouTube, and you can let me know. I'll do a poll, and you guys can vote on what you would like to see for the next stream, and we'll go from there. Alright, so right now I'm just drawing a border around the whole mandala, and I think we're actually going to at some point end the mandala here. Maybe I'll draw and close this in with a circle. I'm not really sure. I have a lot of different ideas going on right now. Okay, there we go. Now we can use the pen. But first, instead of drawing the border, I'm going to layer, and I'm going to draw a triangle like this, and then we will move on to outlining the border line. So lately, the reason why I've been trying to get up early is because before the whole situation with COVID happened, I don't want to say too much about it. I feel like we hear too much about it anyways. But before that happened, I was trying to actually start an art show this year, and I was really looking forward to it, but that got canceled. And so I decided that I was going to instead use the time to work on my art book. And so I'm not sure, I probably mentioned it a few times before, but I am hoping to publish my first coloring book. My goal is to complete 25 designs for the book, and so it's been a slow progress because a lot of things have been happening this year, and I just haven't really been able to work on it as much as I want to. But lately, because I've been getting up at 5 in the morning, I've been able to work on them, so it's looking really nice, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm really hoping I can publish it this year. So we shall see. I have 20, I should be able to, honestly, but I don't really know how long it takes to publish a book. So we shall see how long it takes. I have 20 designs, and my goal is to get 25. So I will keep you guys updated, it's just basically going to have a bunch of different mandala designs that you can color and just basically enjoy. You know, the winter time is going to be coming up, and so it'll be a nice little activity to do with you, with yourself, or with your friends, or your family, or with your kids even. It'll be a nice bonding time, and so that's basically what I'm aiming for this year. I'm hoping I can publish that book. I don't know how many copies I should do. Like, this whole process is pretty new to me, so I'm willing to do it though. Alright, so we have our triangles in, and so now I'm gonna go and finish up with the border lines. Alright, and so on the ends of these triangles, I'm going to do a circle, like so. And then I think from here I'm going to work on the designs inside of the petals because they're quite bare. Once the designs inside the petals are finished, we are then going to move on to filling it in with our marker, our jumbo marker, and the mandala should be complete. Although I say that, but sometimes it doesn't really work out that way. Sometimes I'll add more to it, so we really just have to see. Alright, looking really good. So now it's time to add some designs. So we're going to go back to the very beginning. Now the thing to remember here is because I am going to be shading in with this jumbo marker here, it's good to keep in mind what spaces you want to be black and then what spaces you just want to have designs. The order that I normally do it is that I do the designs first, and that way if I want to cover up an area with a marker, with a black marker, I can easily do so. And so that's normally the order that I do it at. For some of these smaller designs though, I may just kind of, it's really hard to add designs to because of the space that is, it's so small. So I'm just going to draw in the triangles here, I'm going to draw a line in the middle, like so. And even though I'm just doing a very basic mandala, I like to do basic mandalas for those who are just starting out with drawing, and also I like to encourage you guys to draw. So if I draw a little bit more simple, if I draw simple mandalas for you all, hopefully you'll be more likely to try to draw them, and that's ultimately my goal. And if you want to add more to the mandalas, if you do decide to draw them, you're more than welcome to. And it's really, the more time you put into your mandalas, the more beautiful it will look. So yes, this is going to be a simple mandala for the sake of the live stream, but you can add more to it off in your own time, and I'm sure it will look wonderful. Alright, so here I'm going to add some teardrops right on the ends of these petals. And then in this line, I'm going to actually draw some lines. So for this part, it could be a bit more time consuming, so just take your time, go slowly if you need to. It's very important to try to get the lines as evenly spaced apart as possible. And if I go too fast, I normally mess up. So take your time with this part, enjoy the process. And let your mind drift away. Oop, you're not able to see it. There we go. Alright, looking good. Inside these petals, I'm going to give it a border inside with a little hump in the middle, like this. Time to zoom out. All right. So I'm actually going to, I want to draw some petals on the inside of this petal here. So I'm going to draw another petal inside like this, and then we're gonna draw our designs inside of it. The pen nib size, Priya, it just says flare medium. I'm not really sure what size that would be. Let me see. I have other pens here. Maybe, I think it could be a size 7. I think it could be a size 7. Let me see if I can find a size 7 to compare, because I do have these pens and they show the nib size. So let me see if I can find that 7. It's somewhere here. Ah, okay, so here's 7. This is the biggest marker of that set. I think it would be a 7, comparably. What do you think? Yeah, I think it probably would be a 7. If it had a number, it probably would be. I don't use these pens because it requires me to hold them a special way, and when I'm making videos or if I'm live streaming, sometimes it's hard to draw with this pen. So it's better for off-camera use. That's why I use this one, but it definitely would be a 7 if I had to give it a number or a nib size. So I hope that helps. Awesome, awesome. Very nice. And I'll definitely remember to put all the items that I use, including the circle sizes, because I will be giving you guys the circles, their sizes, so in case you would like to draw this in your own free time, you'll be able to. And I'll also include this pen as well. Ah, yes, honestly, I know it can be intimidating to start drawing mandalas. I think when I first started drawing them, I was very intimidated because I was comparing myself to other artists, and sometimes it's not really good to do that, especially if you tend to talk yourself out of drawing. But I highly recommend you just start drawing. Don't think about it too much. Just have fun. I think when you're having fun, making art or doing anything creative can really be so much easier, and it takes a lot of pressure off of you. So I really hope you have a great time drawing mandalas, and overall, the more you practice with it, the better you'll become. Because if you've seen my older mandalas, you will definitely see how far I've come when it comes to drawing mandalas, and that came with practice. So keep practicing, and I know you will get better. So BB, to answer your question, everything is pretty much just kind of making up as I go. I've always done it that way. I do know some people, they have a paper where they have the designs mapped out. They'll first draw the designs on paper first, and then they'll draw it on as they draw the mandala. But for me, it's always been spontaneous. But I suppose if I want to get better with different designs, it probably is better to have planned designs. That way you can implement new designs, and it's also a great way for you to learn. But I always like to be spontaneous, so it's just spontaneous pretty much. I do happen to, I came up with practice sheets, and basically I'll come up with random petal designs, and so it's a practice sheet that will help you draw these designs, and so I'm hoping in the future I do have them available on my shop if you would like to check that out and just to kind of get an idea as to what my practice sheets could look like. But my goal is to eventually create a little booklet with these practice sheets inside of it, and so you'll be able to kind of keep that with you wherever you go, and whenever you want to just draw a mandala and just find new designs instead of having a bunch of papers to sift through, you'll have a little booklet of those designs. So one thing at a time. I'm really hoping, that's my goal though, when it comes to petal designs. I would really love to publish that. So many different projects, so many different possibilities. Alright, so I am going to draw some teardrops in this dip, and then we're going to draw some petals on the outside in this space right here. Have we hit 2 hours yet? We are almost at 2 hours. We are at 1 hour and 56 minutes. Thank you so much, guys, for staying with me and for watching and for joining me and for basically helping me make this a really fun experience. Of course, BB, like, I always like to be spontaneous. I find that it's just, I don't know, I don't like to make my art, like, I don't like to put so much pressure on it, so I really try to just keep it as fun as possible, because in the very beginning, I was always constantly trying to draw other things, and it just didn't feel like it was genuine to my skill level, so I felt like, you know, maybe it's a good idea to just draw what comes to the heart, what feels right at the time, and in time, as time goes on, it's bound to happen where my designs get better. So I just like to keep it spontaneous, and I like to keep it fun. Art should be fun, but you should always try to challenge yourself, always. Sushma, thank you so much for joining in. Much love from the USA to India. What time is it here? It is currently 2 o'clock in the afternoon. How about there? What time is it there in India? Ooh, 11:32. Night owl. I love staying up late, honestly. Sometimes I stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's the best thing ever. So if there are any night owls here with me, power to night owls. Thank you so much for joining me at 11 o'clock at night in India. Thank you so much. I feel very honored. 11:32. Ooh, so it's almost midnight. Wait, is it in the morning or nighttime? Nighttime. Okay, so it's almost midnight then. Well, I'm very honored that you are watching my video before you go to sleep. That makes me very happy. Hi, Boomy? Am I pronouncing that right? Boomy, thank you so much for joining in. Much love to India. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I have a lot of my viewers are from India, so I give you guys a lot of love, honestly. The fact that I can get my videos across to a different country completely it's really awesome. So it's nice to be able to connect with other people around the world. So thank you so much again. Oh, that's all right, Sushma. It was really nice for you to join me and say hi. Next time, hopefully, we can sit in together and be able to join, and you'll be able to watch me a little bit longer, but that's all right. Until next time, have a great night. All right, well, much love from the USA and from me to you. Have a great night. Alright, so we are almost finished with this mandala. We are getting close to the end. We have a few more designs to get in, and then we're going to color with our big marker. I'm excited for that. If I want to start start drawing mandalas, what are the basic things I need to know or learn, Sarah? So for me, when it comes to drawing mandalas, I think it does help to kind of have a variety of different designs to help you start out with. So for me, what I did at first, I actually had a little drawing book that I started drawing my designs in, and at first whatever designs came to mind, sometimes I would look at what other people were drawing and their designs, and I would draw them in my book. But at the same time, I also tried to draw my own, so I would probably come up with maybe 20 different designs, and I would just kind of go from there. And so using that book, I would draw the designs as I'm drawing the mandala. And so with time, I tried to focus on, I didn't worry so much about the amount of details, but I definitely think having that booklet to help you draw really comes in handy, and also the guidelines. Having the guidelines truly helped me, because I think that was the one thing that I was struggling a lot with, was just having my designs come out looking nice. So if you can work on having the guidelines in addition to having maybe a sheet, like a small piece of paper full of your designs, it would really be helpful to anyone who's trying to learn how to draw mandalas. And then with time, you can continue adding to that little booklet or that paper. Whatever designs you learn along the way will definitely help you learn. And so that's basically what I did. I just kept track of all the designs that I wanted to draw, and with time I started to use the designs without even having to look at the book or the piece of paper. So having that book, having those designs available to you whenever you need to look at them, can really help you draw better. And as you progress and with your art, you will definitely get a lot better. And also it helps to have the right tools. For me, having a compass definitely helps draw circles, but you don't really need it. Sometimes having things that are circular around helps you a lot. Like, for example, this is my little washi tape. I like to use it to tape things, like, for example, my string lights here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but my string lights here, I actually use this tape to keep it up. But if you don't have a compass around, you could use the circle as a way to draw it. So really try to get creative as to like how you could draw your circles, but having the right tools, keeping track of all your designs, and ultimately going at the pace that is right for you can really help you become better with drawing. And drawing every day, absolutely. If you can find artists on Instagram who happen to draw mandalas like you, or you like their style, follow them and just kind of use them as a reference, and in time you are absolutely going to improve. Sushma asked, Sarah, what is your favorite YouTuber? So my favorite YouTuber actually is no longer on YouTube. Her name was Marcia, and she happened, maybe you know about her, but she was a really popular YouTuber, and she happens to be the wife of the really, really popular YouTuber PewDiePie. And so for the longest time I was watching her videos and I was really into her videos, and then she decided to take a break from YouTube. So she's still my favorite YouTuber, and I really like to watch some of her old videos, and it's just really nice. And I really love her positive attitude towards life, and she's just very carefree and very optimistic, and I love that. So she definitely has to be my favorite YouTuber by far. As far as other YouTubers, I can't say. I have an artist that, Lee Alexan, I believe that's her last name, Lee Alexan. She's another artist on YouTube. She creates, she does artist vlogs, and she does a lot of art videos, drawing. So I don't really have many other YouTubers that I enjoy. That's kind of weird that I think about it. Yeah. How about you guys? What are your favorite YouTubers? Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I should draw in this space. I feel like I should draw... I think we should do another hump. A little hump in the middle of it. Actually, we're not going to do a hump. We're going to do a little triangle. And we're going to connect it to the circles on the sides. Ah, yes, Inktober. Oh my goodness. I completely forgot about Inktober. I love Inktober. Last year, was it last year? I don't even remember. God, has it really been that long for me? Last year I did Inktober for the first time, and it was so fun. Yes, absolutely. If you have the chance to do Inktober, definitely do it. I learned so much doing Inktober. Yes, it was it was a lot of pressure to draw every day, but if I wasn't able to draw on one day, I did it the next day, and it was so fun. My skills as an artist improved so much during that time. So absolutely 100%. I hope you do Inktober, because I really think you would have fun. I did, that's for sure. I'm definitely going to do it this year. And the booklet really helps. So get some paper, create a little booklet of designs, and you'll be good to go. Man, I don't know about you guys, but thinking about October makes me so excited, because I love the fall. There's something about it that it's so cozy to me. It's just, I'm already excited. And it also doesn't help because the art store nearby, they're already preparing for the fall. So it's like I I get stuck on one season, but then I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited for the next season. So, but by far, I love fall. I love the change of the leaves, the colors. I love Halloween. It's just it takes me back to a really nice, cozy time. And I really like the idea of doing the mandalas for Inktober. I really think that would be I think that would actually set you apart. Majority of people do like, illustrations, but I haven't heard about it much, but I haven't really seen mandalas for Inktober. That's a really good idea. It could be like themed mandalas, or doodles or Zentangles even. That's actually a really cool idea. So right now I'm just going to continue drawing these little triangles, and then from there I think I'm going to start shading in with the jumbo marker that I have, and I think that will complete this mandala. So what time is it? It's 2:15. We've been recording officially for 2 hours and 11 minutes. So thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned in with me and for being so nice and for being supportive of my first live stream for YouTube. It's really awesome to see that this was such a success. So thank you, guys. Alright, so I got my jumbo marker here, my Prismacolor marker. You don't have to use Prismacolor markers or anything like that. You can just use whatever thick mark you have. If you have a Sharpie, you can definitely use that too. Okay. Alright, so let's get to coloring. I tell you, my setup for my live stream is pretty chaotic. If I get a chance to show you guys what it looks like right now, like in its raw, natural state, it's pretty wild. It's absolutely 100% wild. It looks nothing like my regular recording session, that's for sure. What inspired you to become a mandala artist? So I was actually going through a really rough time. At the time, I was struggling to find a job, and I was home a lot, and it was really bothering me, and it was really getting to me, and I was concerned about, paying bills. And so to take just to kind of take that extra weight off my shoulders, I started drawing. And at first it wasn't mandalas, it was just, random doodles here and there. But then I was on Pinterest, or maybe it was Instagram. I honestly can't really remember, but I saw a mandala and it just blew me away. I don't know, there was something about it. It just kind of mesmerized me, and it just made me want to draw it. So I first started doodling to myself, and then I thought to myself, wow, I think it'd be nice to start a YouTube channel drawing. And guys, like at the time, my drawings weren't that great. Like as an artist, my skills drawing mandalas was nowhere near like it is today. Honestly, they looked like preschool mandalas. So the fact that I was able to sum up the courage to even upload videos of me drawing is really crazy. But I did it, and fortunately, it worked out, and I'm really happy that I took, I was in a place of worry, and I was kind of, depressed, and doing mandalas really helped lift my spirits up. So I know it's kind of sad, but it helped me grow so much more, and I'm so grateful for it, honestly. So if it wasn't for mandalas, I don't know what I'd be doing right now, to be honest. Like now, if I don't do any art, I get stressed out. So art is a big part of my life, and it's all thanks to mandalas. Ah, of course. I love to encourage people, honestly. I really love seeing people be creative and trying new things, because I do know from my personal experience it can be really intimidating to try different things. So if you don't give yourself time to doubt yourself or time to overthink about things, then it really becomes, it's a lot easier than you think it is. And I often say this to myself, our minds are probably the biggest barrier when it comes to trying new things. So that's why I like to be spontaneous, because I don't really think about things. And sometimes we need that. So it's really good to just be spontaneous, do what comes, what feels like, is the best thing for you to do. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. Just what makes you happy right now, and just do it. Plain and simple. So I'm really happy to encourage you all to be more spontaneous. Hi, Princess. I love the name, by the way. That's a pretty cool name. I have competition tomorrow. Oh, that's awesome. What competition is it for? Are you married? I am not married. I've been with my boyfriend for about 6 years now. We've talked about marriage, but right now we're still just trying to become a bit more stable. So if it happens to come, though, we definitely will consider it for sure. Right now, though, we're just kind of doing our own thing and just appreciating each other and getting to know each other even more. 6 years is a lot of time, honestly. I never thought I'd be with someone for so long. It's crazy. Princess, you said you have a competition tomorrow. Is it a competition for drawing mandalas? Ah, the kaleidoscope, yes. Oh my goodness, that's so right. I don't think I had access to any kaleidoscope growing up. I may have had a few here and there, but I think we probably lost it, but those were always so interesting and mesmerizing too. I can see why you would fall in love with them that way. That makes sense. Ah, well, if it's a competition for drawing mandalas, the best thing you can do is just do your best. Do what you would normally do behind closed doors when no one is watching, and just focus on yourself and tune everything out, tune everyone out. The one thing that helps me draw, and when I'm feeling nervous, I like to just think to myself, well, how is my art helping other people? Wouldn't it be nice to share my art with other people and for them to learn from me? And that kind of gets me out of being nervous, is that I'm helping people learn and I'm encouraging them. So trust that you have something to give back, Princess, because I believe that you do. Everyone does. Everyone has something to give back, and everyone has something to teach. And so anything creative will surely put smiles on people's faces. So I trust that you will do a great job, Princess. Oh yes, honestly, anyone can draw mandalas. I think people much younger than me are probably much better at drawing at mandalas than I am. So anyone can do it. Anyone at any age, at any point in their time, can definitely draw mandalas, can be creative, can get back into art, can get into a hobby. You just gotta believe in yourself, Princess. I believe in you. You can do it. Absolutely, absolutely. That's kind of like, I'm always encouraging myself that way, because I know how important it is. I know how important it is to just encourage yourself and to be positive and to believe in yourself. It really goes a long way, because you're gonna find in life you're not always gonna have that support. So it really is important for you to support yourself. So believe in yourself, Princess. You have greatness in you. Oh, oh, thank you so much, BB. I really appreciate that. Honestly, like I always say, honestly, you're never too young, you're never too old to get back into doing what you want to do, as long as you start. As long as you start, then honestly, you are on the right track. So just keep going, and much love to you, honestly, for getting back into doing something that really makes you happy, because that's all that we're really here for, you know? As human beings, we have to explore our capabilities. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to take chances. We have to create opportunities for us. It doesn't matter how old you are. Age is just a number. It's the child at heart that matters. So continue being a child in your heart. That's all that matters. I do have to say, I think when I get to the coloring part, I do have to like stop and think about it for a little bit, because I don't want to. It's very easy for me to go crazy with the black marker. At some point, like, I have to stop myself, because then everything would just be black. So every now and then I have to kind of stand back and see what will look good. Of course, you're welcome. I love to encourage you guys. Keep up the great work, support yourself, encourage others around you. Love is the only thing that makes the world go around, and we need love even more so nowadays. So love everyone that you come across, have compassion for them, and encourage them, because everyone has greatness in them. You just have to believe in yourself, and we are all full of wonderful things. Alright, so it's actually going to get a bit tricky coloring this part in, but we're going to do it. I'm going to color behind these petals like so. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really happy that it's coming out really well. Thank you so much, Boomy, for your compliment. I always appreciate that. Oh, that makes me happy, Princess. Thank you for choosing my video. My goodness. I am honored. Thank you so much. Man, you guys are awesome. Today was a really good day to start live streaming, because you guys, I've just like come across some really great people. And that's also what I'm hoping to do, is like the more that I live stream, the more I'll have an opportunity to get to know my viewers on a more personal level, and just kind of be able to bond with them more. So yeah, that's in time. I know I'm gonna meet even more awesome people, but for the most part, you guys have definitely helped me create a really cool and fun and amazing first live stream. So thank you guys so much. I absolutely appreciate all of you. Alright, so we have that in. Now let's keep going. I'm going to... So because this space has a lot of black in it already, I'm going to try to space it out. So I may end up... I think I'm going to outline or color this border in really over here, and then that's basically how I go about doing the mandalas. I just kind of observe and see what needs some black here or there, or what needs some color here and there. Sometimes standing back from your art is a really good way of seeing what it needs. So see what works best for you. Boomy says, I saw your channel 3 days ago and I love your art. Thank you so much, Boomy. It's really nice to see more and more people coming across my channel. It still takes me by surprise because when I first started this channel, honestly, I didn't really know how far I was going to go with it. It really wasn't something that I was committed to. It was just a place where I could make art, and I didn't think many people were going to come across it, to be honest, but you know, to this day, it's still very awesome to see myself connecting with more people, and it's a great feeling, and it makes me happy to be able to connect with more people. Boomy, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you so much again for joining, and you really made my day, and I'm so happy that I was able to encourage you. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you next time in the next live stream. Take care. I'm not going to color this design in, but I am going to draw a circle on inside of it. I don't want it to be overwhelmed with too much black. I do have a white pen that I may try to use. It really depends on how it looks afterwards. So we'll just kind of see as we go. Thank you, Boomy. Take care as well and stay safe. Alright, Priya, thank you so much for joining. It really made my day, and I really hope you have a great day tomorrow. Get plenty of sleep, and again, thank you so much for joining me. Of course, see you again in next live stream. I'll of course I will definitely do an update, so take care, and we'll see each other next time. if I do use the white pen, I'll probably just add a few white details here and there. The white does show up really nicely on this paper because it's toned. So I'm definitely excited to see how this mandala turns out, to be honest. I have drawn some mandalas where honestly I prefer them in their outline state, so I didn't color anything in, it's just their outline only, so basically like what this would be. And yeah, sometimes that happens. Alright, and then I'm going to outline these petals just so that they stand out a bit more. Have a good night, Princess. I hope you have a great competition tomorrow. You will most likely, so have no fear. Sahasini, I hope I said that right. I love all your mandalas. You are so dedicated and patient. I love your intricate designs. It's awesome. I started my mandala journey watching your videos. You are an inspiration. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sahasini. I really appreciate that. Honestly, like, it still makes me happy to hear that you guys really appreciate my videos and that my videos inspire you to be more creative. That's so nice. Thank you so much. And honestly, good for you for getting back into drawing and drawing mandalas. It's really a nice thing, and it's super healthy, honestly. It's very therapeutic, so good for you and thank you again. And you're welcome, Princess. I hope to see you again next time. Drawing mandalas, though, definitely does require a lot of patience, but with time, even though it does require some time, I think with time you kind of learn to appreciate how much patience it requires, and it's just ultimately, I draw mandalas because it kind of helps me take my mind off of things, and so ultimately I kind of learned early on that it was really fun, and it was just so soothing too, so to see other people finding my videos helpful is really encouraging to me too. Oh, and thank you again for the birthday wishes. I absolutely appreciate you. Thank you so much. Wow, that's so crazy. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Much love to you guys, honestly. You guys have been such a supportive crowd so far. It really makes me happy. I will be 27, so that's, I don't really think of age anymore, but it does give me some time to like contemplate on my life and what I've gone through and what I could do differently. So whenever I have a birthday coming around, that's kind of like what I normally do. Like, have I been making progress? Have I been doing great? Is there anything that I could work on? That's kind of like the normal thing that I do when I have a birthday, to be honest. It's not all that exciting, but that's just something that I normally do. Sometimes I'll even take the jumbo marker, and I'll actually draw some more designs on the mandala if I don't have intentions to coloring anything in. So we have this big space here. I'm just going to actually kind of take it up by drawing a big teardrop. Whoop, time to zoom out. Alright, and from here, we're getting close to the end. I'm gonna color one side of this triangle. I'm gonna color the left side, just one though, because we have a lot of black going on anyway, so I think any more and it would just kind of look too much, although we probably could shade in some more in this area. So let's see where this goes. I could probably add more circles to the insides of this area, so I'm going to finish coloring the triangles in, and then we're going to go from there. Thank you so much, Roxo. I really am happy that it came out looking nice. Your encouraging words will keep me going for sure. I truly have no idea what to expect when I draw these because it's so spontaneous. I feel like sometimes I should have a more thought out plan, but you know, I think it works out. So, okay, so I think it could use some more black. So I may actually, I'm gonna color this in. Hopefully it'll look okay, because I don't know how it's gonna look, because there's already a lot of black in it anyways. I'm actually gonna use the other side of the marker, the fancy nib, although hopefully it's gonna work out. So it's really cool to, when you start to get a bit better when you're drawing the designs for your mandalas, you start to notice that when you draw your designs and when you're about to color everything in, you can really play around with what areas you want to have color or what kind of shapes you want to have. And as you can see, you can really create a lot of different contrast. So we have like black here, and then the other side is white, and just overall it just creates so much depth to it, and it makes it really intricate. And I think that comes if you're willing to try new things and you're willing to explore your boundaries and kind of go out of your comfort zone too. So again, like I had mentioned before, sometimes having that little booklet or even a piece of paper with just designs on it can really make the drawing experience a lot better. So, and you'd be surprised what you can come up with too. So exactly, Roxo. I absolutely agree. You really don't know what you're going to find inside. So honestly, I 100% agree. I think art should be really spontaneous, and I think if it's too thought out, I do think it can kind of take away the organic feelings that you normally have when you're making art. Of course, that depends on your skill level, because some artists naturally put more thought into their artwork, and it shows in their artwork because it looks really nice. And so I think for some people though, if you're just wanting to be creative for the fun of it and it looking perfect isn't really a big concern, I really think going spontaneous is really just the best way to go, honestly. So, I mean, we're all different, so I guess it depends on different people, too. Alright, so it's looking really good, except I have to outline the center circle. Okay, so I'm hoping I can make it come out right, because it doesn't, sometimes it's like a hit or miss, so I gotta take my time. Okay, that's not so bad. Also, I think this line needs to be outlined. It doesn't really show up too well, so I'm just going to go ahead and quickly outline it. My boyfriend is about to be home from work, so I'm trying to finish this up. I had started the live stream a bit late because, again, like, it wasn't starting up for me. So he's gonna walk in and see me live streaming. Okay, so I think I did say I was gonna add like some dots here, so let's go ahead and do that. Yes, I will definitely give the measurements of the circles when the mandala is finished, and I'll show you guys how I measure the circles, because I think that can be kind of confusing. Also, it's probably confusing because I'm not really explaining it the way that I should be explaining it, so I'll show you what works for me, and hopefully you guys will be able to use that as well. It's pretty cool to see how dots can even bring your mandala to life too. Alright, so I think we're finished. The only thing left to do now is to, of course, give you guys the measurements and show you how I measure things. So the ruler that I use to draw my guidelines, it doesn't have centimeters on it. It just has inches because, for one, this ruler is kind of old, like it's pretty aged. So it doesn't really it's not really sophisticated, so I won't be using that. I do have a second ruler though, and it's this ruler. You guys have probably seen me use it on my videos before. And so it has two sides to it. One is centimeters and then the other is inches, and it also has this interesting little piece on the end to help me line the ruler up with paper. I don't really like to use this ruler because of this piece, but I'm going to use it because it has centimeters on it. So let me go ahead and zoom in and show you guys how I draw these, how I give you guys the measurements. I don't have a piece of paper. Yes I do. Okay, so I'll use this as an example. Hopefully it's not gonna... Okay, so I have this piece of paper here. This is basically, I'm not gonna lie, this is like my weekly schedule just to kind of keep me on track of things. It's pretty basic, but I'm just gonna use this piece of paper because it's the only piece of paper that I have on my desk. So I'm going to take the measurements down. So I use centimeters because it's really accurate for me personally. So hopefully the camera will be able to pick up on it. Okay. So I use centimeters because it's really accurate, and I have... Oh, I didn't close my marker, guys. Can't have that. Okay. So I normally measure the diameter of the circle, and I know you're not able to see it. Oh, maybe I can move this. I'm trying to move it so you guys can see it a bit better, but I don't know if it's gonna work out. Ooh. Okay, is it better? I don't know. Maybe. Ooh, I don't know. Okay. So I do centimeters and I measure the diameter, and right now this first circle, which is this circle here, it would be 2 centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that on the paper. And I do apologize if the angle is a bit off, but it definitely is 2 centimeters. I don't use inches because I find that the measurements aren't as accurate. So the first would be 2 centimeters. Okay. The next The next circle that we would draw would be the next design right here, and that has a diameter of 3.5. The next one, which would be these little triangles here, it has a diameter of 4.5. Okay. The next circle we would draw, which would be these little round humps here, that circle would be roughly 5.8. And I'm writing this on a paper so I can also put it in the description once the video is finished, or the live stream is finished, I'm sorry. Our next design, or next circle, would be this design with this teardrop inside of it. As you can see, there's a circle here. That circle would be about 7.2. After that, it would then be 7.8. And then our next circle would be starting here. That would be 8 centimeters even. And then the little thin line afterwards would be 9 centimeters even. From there, I'm not going to measure, I'm not going to give you the circle for the small petal here, but I'm going to give you the measurement for the bigger petal, because you can easily just draw the smaller petal inside of it once the bigger petal is finished. So that petal is going to be about 11 centimeters. Next, after that, we are going big, and it's going to be these tall petals here. Oop, you can't see it. We're going to be doing these tall petals here, and that is going to be 13.2. And you can easily just draw the next designs inside of it. You don't really need the measurements for that. From there, you can also draw the hump once these petals are drawn. The next circle would be, time to zoom out. The next circle would be these petals. And the diameter of those would be 15 centimeters. And then from there, actually, we're not going to do that one, because that is, we're just going to do the full design of this one. So the round petal here, that circle would be about 16 centimeters, so not 15. So I basically just give you the basic, I guess the circle that would be appropriate to draw the petals first, and then as far as the details that go on inside of it, you'll be able to easily draw them once you have the circles that will help you draw just the basic shapes for the petals. And then last but not least, the last circle, which would be this border here, although you probably don't need it, I'll add it in. It's about 16.7. So in total, you would draw about, let's see, I have a paper here. Oof. Can you see it? I think it's picking up on the mandala too much. So these are the circles, the amount of circles that you would draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you would draw 12 circles, and you would make sure that when you're drawing the circles, they have the diameter of this And I guess the way to do that, if you want to draw them, is before you draw your circles, you would make sure that you have your guidelines in place, and then you could either, for one, you could either use the ruler according to the measurements that you have on your paper, or the measurements that you have anywhere really, and then you would basically draw your circles according to that, and then each time you start a new circle, you would adjust the ruler accordingly. So if you needed 5 centimeters, you would center the ruler so that it's in between 0 and 5, or if you needed 10 centimeters, you would center the ruler in the middle, starting from 0 to 10, so that it's all in the middle. If that is too complicated, with the measurements in hand, you could also use this compass. It does have measurements on it that go in increments of 2s, as you can see here. So if you happen to have a compass, you can easily just use that method. That probably would be, honestly, a lot easier. So I really hope I was able to explain it okay enough for you guys to be able to understand that. So I hope that's helpful. I'll definitely put these numbers inside the description. I'll fill out the description of this live stream video once it's ready to be uploaded onto YouTube, and then we'll go from there. So let me zoom out so you guys can see the final product. Oof, we almost hit 3 hours. Alright, so let me make sure my marker is closed. Let me adjust the camera a wee bit. And there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this first live stream. Honestly, it was a huge success for me, and I'm super happy that all of you were able to join me. Oh, I'm sorry, Roxo, you asked what camera do I use. So I use Sony, hold on, I have to look at the camera. Sony a5100. I like the camera, it gives great quality, but I would not recommend it. And here's why. The reason why I wouldn't recommend it is because it overheats too much, and that's a huge problem, because if you're going to record for long periods like I do, having it constantly heat is a problem because it shuts off on you all the time. So for me to avoid that, I actually have a dummy battery inside the camera to prevent it from shutting off. And so I've had the camera for about 3 years now, and it was like $500 when we got it. So the fact that it's kind of acting up already and it was $500, you know, I feel like you could probably get a better deal on a different camera, to be honest. So even though this camera is doing what I need it to do, I feel like you can get so much better for that price point. So it helped, you know, it's lasted this long, but you can probably do a bit better, honestly. So I wouldn't recommend this camera, and that's just me being honest. So yeah, with that said though, I think we're going to complete this live stream. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it was helpful, and I really want to say thank you so much for joining in. I didn't think it was going to be that successful, and I'm really happy that I was able to pull it off, and you guys are such an amazing crowd. I really am blessed to have such a great audience. You guys are so supportive and very welcoming, and I absolutely look forward to next live stream. Today's the 18th, so I'll probably do it next month around the same time. I'll definitely put an alert on my channel so that you guys can tune in for this live stream. So I really look forward to the next live stream. I think it's going to be really fun, and I look forward to all of you guys joining me. So I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. Have fun. Thank you again, guys, for making this first live stream such an amazing experience for me, and I hope I was able to create an amazing experience for you all. And I'll see you guys next live stream. So take care, guys. Stay creative, and I'll see you next time. So next video on my YouTube channel will be coming this Friday, and I will be trying out a new product. So if you guys would like to see that, you can feel free to join me for Friday's video, and I will upload that video. Also, you can follow me on my Instagram page. I do upload pretty regularly, and you can also follow me on Facebook, although I'm not really active on Facebook. But if you like to find me on Facebook, you can find me at Sarah Lucas. So thank you guys again. I'm wishing you all the best. Much love from me to you, and take care. Bye.